Then Ian told me that, oh look, bro, why don't we just let Abel sing on these on some of these beats? So backstory now on Abel.
What year? First of all, what year is this?
This is like in 2004.
Okay.
Yes, this is like
okay. Backstory now.
Yes. So now backstory before 2004. So I think about 2003. I used to when I wanna feel Christian, I would go to this church called Miracle Life, amazing church. So I would go there, and the popular guy at the church was Abel Chungu. Yeah. So I totally despised him because he was like, just like light-skinned, plays guitar and sings. I'm like, this guy taking all the girls. There's no girl in the entire church who didn't want to be with Abel. Like, it was just like, Abel is the perfect guy. So like, I was just like,
these are details he left out.
Yes. So I despised. I like this guy. Yeah. I do, and it's so crazy how like today, I mean, I love Abel so much.
Yeah.
Like he's
your brother.
He's a brother that he's a big brother. Like, I mean, the most fundamental things I know about Christianity I learned from Abel. So it's like it's crazy, the relationship, how life is very interesting. But anyways, he never knew I despised because he didn't care. I was a nobody. I had all the girls. It's fine. Who am I? So when Ian suggested Abel, I was like, come on, bro. I know I'm not killing it on the raps, but no, man. Abel. Yeah. And because what had happened was the beats, I had written songs to the beats. And so we thought, okay, so we invited Abel over to the house. To the house. Yeah. So he said, oh, look, these are the beats we have. And then Abel would be like, these beats are dope. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, I've got a song. So I would sing the song to Abel, like, oh, this is the song to the beat. And then Bana, and then he writes a song which is like 10 times better. So now I'm just like, I'm like, oh God. So now, so that's how we started working. So it was always just the three of us.
And did you ever do anything?
So yeah, we recorded some songs, which actually, there's a song on his album called Chalo.
Yes.
Chalo.
So that
song was a remix. The one that you may know is the remix. To that. So he did that song first.
He did now this ghetto production. In-house,
right.
In-house
yes.
production.
Yes. So we made the beat, and then when we made the beat, we took it to. We made a couple of beats. So he did like an EP, like a 5-track EP, selected from those beats. And then from when we took those beats, we went with them to Taz, and then Taz like finessed them, added extra instruments, and then.
But you are on Chalo. You also rap on Chalo.
I am on Chalo, but that's the remix version, which is the more recent one which was released. Yeah. But we released Chalo like in about 2003, somewhere there.
Whoa.
Yes, okay. 2004 or 5 anyway.
And are you the one who now produced this Chalo?
This Chalo
on Love Unleashed. Is it on Love Unleashed?
It was on the first album.
No, it's on
the Worship of the
Love Revolution.
Such a long album. Ish, Abel. So that was the remix.
You who produced that.
That's me who produced that one.
But at this time when.
But I also produced the first one. But as in making the beats.
You were not producing.
Well, as in. I was not Ian. Well, because what I realized is that, especially now, because I would tell Ian, okay, bro, I'm thinking a melody like whatever, and then Ian would make and then he played and he would build the beat.
I get it.
So we would build it like that. It's just I wouldn't actually physically.
You're not the
touch.
Instrumentalist.
Yes. I'm not the one who's like the engineer who's touching the So I realized that, so I guess I was in some way
a producer.
I just didn't know.
The thoughts are coming from you.
Yes.
The idea is coming from you.
Yes. I always saw making the beats as a means to me eventually rapping. So I thought, okay, I need to make this beat so I can rap on it.
I get it.
It wasn't necessarily like, I wasn't thinking of it like, I'm gonna make beats for other people. Yes, or like I'm gonna be a producer. It was just I just
Means
needed
to
it.
an end.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why Ian was telling you you're a producer.
Yes,
because he was getting the ideas from you.
Yes,
and
yes,
then
yes,
put
yes.
and then
yes.
He was a translator.
He was a translator.
Yeah.
Yes. He was. He had his own ideas, of course, but like he knew that, oh, that's a strength you have, and so now after we did all that,
so don't need to skip that one because that's this huge. So so this mini EP that you do, it has. What other songs? Were there any other songs that led to? So Charlo is one that he redid later on.
Yes.
Is there anything else that he redid later on?
There's a song called no, he never redid any other song.
He never redid
any of those other songs.
Okay.
So when that EP came out, so he released that EP, and then Ian.
So you and Abel go back way back.
We go way back.
Right?
Yes. It's just that I think we only started connecting. Well, not recently, but we started connecting like in around 2007.
Yeah.
Yes, but we always, I mean, we always.
After he came back from the States.
Yes. Well, after I came back from the States. So when he did that EP, he went to the States, and then so when he went to the States, Ian decided and said, you know what, bro, we need to take this music seriously.
Okay, so now. Wait, so sorry to cut you short. I just want
to.
I don't want you to rush too much.
Cool.
So you released this EP.
Right.
What's the response?
The response, well, that EP was mainly just for the church.
Okay, so you just.
So we released it at church at Miracle Life. It was good actually. It was good because he sold all the CDs he printed for it. And yeah, so like there was we could feel like, okay, you know what, we are about to get into something.
And you're not recording at this time?
At the time, no, I'm not recording because it's just, I don't know, like I just couldn't find the magic.
The
like
swagger.
just, yes, I don't know. It was just like I was just, I don't know, just couldn't work out.
Yeah.
So then what happened was Ian decided and said, you know what, bro? So Abel said, look, okay, I'm going to the US to do Bible school, so I have to put the music on hold. So now that was like, okay, our thing is kind of destroyed. Then Ian decided, you know what, bro? I think the only way we're gonna do this music is if we take it seriously. We can't be, just learning ourselves, making beats and then going to other studios, because now it's all in fact, there was so much other drama that happened in between, like in that same space, because of getting a beat, taking it to another studio. Eventually, it gets stolen, and the studio would say, "Oh, it's our beat." You know what I mean? And I'm sort of very carefree, so when they would do that, I would just be like, "Yeah, whatever." But Ian is like,
"Nah, bro."
Ian said, "No, bro. We put work in there. Yes, we put work in that. So these people need to be penalized for this stuff." Anyway, so Ian decided to go to South Africa and study sound engineering. Yeah. So now that was a huge. So it was a weird. It was I don't know how God worked things out that period. So when just before Ian decided to make that decision, I was sort of now in my personal life just tired of just the pursuit of fame and wanting to be a rapper. I was and I just got tired of just the life of, I guess, the fast life or something. Like I think I was now around 20 years old, I guess. And at the time, because now when the rap thing wasn't quite happening the way I thought it would, I tried being a TV presenter. So when I was a TV presenter, I could see that this is not really my space. But I was just forcing it because I liked the popularity that came with it. So people would know me. Oh, I used to present a segment on a TV show.
Okay.
So people would know me. Oh, that's Magnus. But it wasn't obviously
your passion.
It wasn't my passion, and it just got me enough fame to maybe get some people to buy me drinks in the club or whatever, or you get a chance to now talk to you because now a girl will listen to you because she's seen you on TV. And obviously, social media was not the only thing that was there was high five or something. So
hey, high5.com.
high5.com. Yes.
You're saying your age.
MySpace. I don't know if even MySpace was there, but anyways. So when Ian, so just before Ian decided, I'm gonna go to South Africa. So this was like in 2006. I remember coming home one day, like from the club, and then my, like in the morning, I was in the kitchen, and then I'm talking to my older sister, and then my sister told me, oh look, there's a camp meeting happening. Do you wanna the camp meeting for church? Do you wanna go? So I remember I didn't even think about it. I was just like, yes, I wanna go. Like, and then she said, okay, cool. I'll arrange it for you, cool. And for me, I just thought, you know what, I need some time away from like Lusaka. Because like, ish.
Too much.
It's too much because, like, and I would always make the decision, especially after I link up with Ian. Because, Ian would say, look, bro, there's HIV, there's cancer, there's all kinds of things. Like, yeah. Like, you are destroying your life. And, like, you've got talent and, you're destroying your life. And, so now I'm like, okay. But every time after, if I'm not with Ian, I'm with my bad boys. And we're up to bad things, you know what I mean? So I just kind of felt like I need to get away from everything and just like rethink my life, because like I'm not finding the groove, I know I want to be in music, but I just don't know because like the raps are just not coming together. I don't know if I can't rap, then I don't know what I can do. You know what I mean? I don't know so then I'm like, okay. So I went to this camp meeting, and man, that was like when I really encountered God. Like that's when I was like, oh snap. Like I really realized how God thinks of me. I realized that, I think my biggest realization was that it's not in my control. It's not supposed to be in my control. Like God is the one who's supposed to control, and all I need to be is still. Like the Exodus 14:14. Like God will fight for you. All you have to do is be still. And I realized in that moment, it's
God.
Yes, be still. Just surrender. Say, oh Lord, okay, it's God. I mean, like, Lord, this is your life. You are gonna do. I'll do what you want me to do. I'm not gonna worry about how things will pan out or whatever. Of course, I'll plan based on what you tell me and based on your guidance. But ultimately, like, it's all God is the one who's in control. Ultimately, if I can't account for where my next breath is gonna come from, why should I try and be yes, you know what I mean? I saw like that was my huge lesson, and this camp meeting was arranged by a wonderful church called Praise Christian Center, where I went for most of my life anyways after that. So there I officially gave my life to Christ. So I said, this is...
And what year is this?
This is 2006.
Okay, 2006, I get it.
So 2006, so just after that, I tell Ian like, hey bro, because as much as Ian was more reasonable than I was, he would sometimes, very rarely, we would go to the club together and drink and whatever. There was even a time, but because Abel was always Christian throughout this whole thing. So there was a time when, but he loved soccer. Abel loved soccer. So there was a time when me and Ian were in a pub, anyways. And we were drinking, and then so Abel wanted to watch soccer, so he came and found us drinking. Now the thing is, he didn't know that we drank. So now when he came, I was like, Ian, let's hide this beer, what am I gonna do? And then Ian was just like, bro. Because Ian didn't, he's like, hey, it
is what it is.
It is what it is, we drink. We drink. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then Abel came and he sat with us, and I just felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, do you want a Sprite? Like, do you want something? And then, it was very uncomfortable. But anyways, so when that happened, now, so when Ian decided, you know what, I'm gonna go train to be a sound engineer. Mm-hmm. So then I said, okay, cool. I guess I'll just, because now it was at a weird space where I'm sort of thinking, okay, I'm waiting on God. Like I just feel like, okay, Lord, I've given you my life. I don't know what's you know what I mean? And there's no Abel now, he's in the States. Ian is leaving. So I'm poor. So, I don't know what is gonna happen now. So I just said, okay, you know what, Lord, I've tried many things. I now want to try what you want me to try. So I remember God clearly telling me, so I fasted for a couple of days. So first thing God told me, and I was very addicted to smoking. So I don't know, from nowhere, I just stopped smoking. The desire was there, but like, I just didn't feel the need to smoke. So that went. And then, of course, the drinking went with it. And then I fasted for a few days. And then I remember God telling me, Mag, you need to quit that TV show you do. You need to quit. And you need to quit rapping.
What?
So I was like, God, basically you're saying I need to quit life. That's what you're saying. That is what you're saying. So I was like, okay, right, okay, cool. So I did the thought, and then I just said, okay, you know what? Okay, I'll quit. And that year, my life was only, if I'm not at church, I'm at home. Like, I was not trying to go anywhere, the clubs or whatever. And I literally, because now I had all these clothes, like I was back, because obviously with the TV presenting, we had sponsors with like clothing stores. So they would give us these like sneakers and whatever. And then like, I just started giving all of them away. I gave all the sneakers away, gave all the my swag. So like, I just became, I don't know how it was. It was the
I don't even know the
it's
word.
like it's I was just if I'm not at church and doing stuff with the youth, I'm at home, and that was just my life, learning God, learning. Then one day, my older sister bought me a PC. She just said, "Oh, okay. I've got a PC. I got you a PC. I found a good deal. I don't know what you're gonna use it for, but it's there. If you're gonna use it to watch movies, I don't know.
Yeah,
you do. So yeah, so I was like, okay, cool. I'll thanks. Of course, started using watching DVDs and stuff like that. And then a friend of mine at church told me, I've got Fruity Loops. So do you want me to install it on your PC? I was like, yeah, install it. I didn't think anything. So I was like, okay, cool. So he puts it there. Then I sat one day, I just, okay, let me just try this beat making thing. Because, and then I made the first beat. And then I was like, oh, snap. I couldn't sleep for like 2 days. I was just making beats. Like, I was just going for it. Like, making beats. And then I'm like, So, and then I made these beats, and then I said, you know what, maybe let me share them with my youth group at church, and then maybe they can use them. So I shared them with the youth group, and they were like, bro,
you're bad.
These are beats. These are beats. So now we started using those beats, and we would do, like, when we evangelize, we would perform to those beats. We started a group called Gospel Activists. And that was now our thing. So it's like, okay, I made beats for the youth. We would go out there.
Were you like a youth leader at the time?
Not necessarily. I was part of the leadership, I guess. Okay. I was part of the youth, but then you know how it is. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I hit the ground running when I got saved, because it was like, I'm saved. The next day,
I want to serve. I want
yes. And next day, I'm testifying in church. And you know, like I'm like, guys, I smoked just like last week. I don't know if I should be on stage. So but then it's like no, so like and I mean the amount of love I got from my people at church, it was just like it was. I had never felt like that in the club. In the club, I always felt like it just felt like life threatening. You know, like it just felt like anything can go down here. Maybe you can talk to someone's girl and you know get hit with a bottle or something. Like it was just always
on edge.
On edge, yeah. It was never like you know, like they all say, "Oh, we're here to have a good time," but it's like it's very like competitive. You know what I mean? But in the church, it was just like. It's just all about God. Like no one was trying to be above anyone or trying to like it was just love. Like it was just love. And I think that love compelled me to do a lot of like evangelism. Like I think a month later I was evangelizing. You know, and we were going to and it was, you know, so I was really like part of the youth group and that and so making all these beats.
You formed this group called Gospel.
We formed this group called Gospel Activists. He's a friend of mine who's now my brother-in-law. His name is DNL.
Yeah.
I guess you know when you would come to get beats, he would also come to talk to my cousins. so yeah. Anyway, so you know, so he actually came up. He had a song called Gospel Activists. So I was like, hey, bro. Why don't we just make that the name of our group?
And how many guys were in the group?
We were plenty. We could have been like 50. It was the youth ministry was called.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like 3D.
No, it wasn't like 3D. It was the whole, yes.
Okay.
So, you know, so I would make beats maybe for just the girls. Because now it became part of the activities. Because the kids were interested in music. Yeah. So it became part of like, okay, we've got beats here. So if you want to rap or you want someone to write raps for you, you know, and yeah, a lot of them are now like, one of them is like a lawyer. Some of them are lawyers and all these kind of jobs and whatnot. And you know, so from there is pretty much when. And I just always thought this beats thing would just be, you know, for this. I still sort of lingered with the thought of like maybe I don't know, maybe one day God will say, okay, come back. You know, I just so like. I made these beats, and then a friend of a guy who also believed there was a group, one of the only Christian rap groups back then was called MT God Bless. So Mandiva, who's the M in the T, Mandiva and Tommy, God bless you. So Mandiva, who's passed on now, may he so rest in peace. He heard some of the beats I was making for the youth groups then. And then he was like, hey bro, I want you to make me a beat. So I was like, okay, cool. And then anyway, maybe before I tell that story, so so when I made those beats, so Ian came back from South Africa after doing a year.
Yeah.
And then he came and says, so what have you been up to? And so I was like, I'm just, you know, I just church home. I've been making some beats. So I played in the beats. Then he's like, bro.
These are beats.
Like, so from that moment on, he said, okay, bro, these beats, they are great. They are poorly mixed, but I can mix. So I'll mix, you make the beats. Okay, awesome, cool. So that became our thing.
Whoa.
So the next year, the second year, I remember I started now working for like a furniture store. But in the background, you know, Ian would say, okay, can you do a bit of research on like, you know, how much beats are, how much it is, how much money,
a beat costs,
how much a track costs, so that if we make it a business, we know how much to charge people for this stuff. And yeah, so like beats just became my thing. And then that's how Mandiva, now the guy I was saying about, got wind of what I do. And then he said, oh bro, I need you to make us a track. So I've got the beat. I mean, so you make us the beat. I want the track to feature an artist called Tio. Yeah. So that's how Tio came to the studio. And then like this Tio guy could, MT, God bless, they could rap, but you know, like they were more because they
school.
did video. Yes, they were old school, and they also did. They started doing more video stuff, so it became MT Productions.
Okay.
So then Tio came to the studio and sang the chorus for their song, and I was in love with this Tio. I'm like, this guy is probably what we need.
And when you say the studio, what studio?
So now at this point we've started our bedroom studio, me and Ian.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a mic?
So now we've got because now when he came from South Africa, he brought a mic.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, sorry, I shouldn't have. I should be sorry. Yes,
no, it's fine.
I know. So the story can be a bit haphazard.
Yeah, I know it's good.
So so when we brought the mic, now Ian. After that,
did Ian come back with? Did he come with a mixer?
So so basically everything is Fruity. Software. Yeah.
Yes,
so Fruity, and then when he was done with school, he now started teaching. He started telling me, look, for us to record our vocals, we need to use a software called Nuendo.
Oh, okay.
So we would make the beat in Fruity, export it into Nuendo, and then we would
mix it there.
We would mix it there. Yeah.
Okay.
So now. So he started teaching me everything about mixing and whatnot, and I started now having an understanding of, just basically how to balance the beats and stuff like that.
So now when these guys came in Tio, they came into your bedroom studio?
Yes, they came when we were while the lessons from Ian to me were happening.
Okay.
Is when now Tio. Is when now the MT, because now the beats I had made for my youth group and stuff had sort of gone around, and people were like, there's this guy who makes beats. But it's just that, you know how it is, like something can be nice to the masses, but professionally, it still needed work.
Yep.
So which is what now Ian was trying to perfect in me, to make it more like acceptable to the rest of the world, so to say. So that's how we produced. So when we did that song for MT, as much as Ian had done education, he still, like the practical, he was basically learning on the job. So he knew what was needed, but he said, like, there's still obviously a lot he needed to learn, and we needed to upgrade our PC because there's a lot more work it's handling. It's not just making beats anymore.
Yeah,
there's all these things in the background. So then from that moment, when we recorded that song, then we said, what, Tio should be the artist we work with.
Yeah,
Tio should be our first artist. Yeah.